Hi guys, and welcome back after two days of abstinence. Now Bitcoin has dropped massively over the last 2 days here to the downside, is bouncing right now, and now, or specifically over the weekend, is the best time in my opinion to go all in. But it is not as easy as you might think. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, like this video, and also activate the bell so that you will actually know when is the right time to enter here and to really go all in. But I can tell you, for some coins it already happened, and for other ones that I'm going to show you, we are really close. Now let's get started here. I want to talk really quick about Bitcoin and what happened here over the weekend, and I want to start off with the CME chart. On the CME chart, remember we had two CME gaps. We had one CME gap here, and we had another CME gap from before that was here, that was not completely closed. These two gaps got over the weekend completely closed and liquidated almost $1 billion worth of leveraged position. And if you can recollect, I told you if we break under 68K, 68,200, that's where I'm going to pull the trigger and get out of all my positions. And that is exactly what I did. So I hope you did the same thing and did not get completely washed out here. I knew if we break 68, there is something wrong in the market and we have to get out of everything. I lost quite a bit, but for that reason we have stop losses and I could enter actually lower at this point. What we see in the Bitcoin chart here on the 30 minutes is that we dropped here all the way down to $59,800 approximately on BYBIT. On Binance was $60,660, something like this. And what I was looking at, and also the days before, was actually the higher time frames. When I was going to the daily chart, I saw that the stochastic still had room to go to the downside and was not at the bottom yet. Now we have finally reached the bottom with that crazy drop. And on 12-hourly, it looked the same. Also here, we see the bounce here already happening. I will go later into the higher time frames. Now on the 30 minutes, when we recovered, a big level to reclaim for Bitcoin was the $64,400 to $65,200 level, which we did today successfully, and also flipped this into support from the looks just of now. We formed here a nice bull flag, pumped also here to the upside. This I thought looked more like a diamond shape, and we also got here a breakdown. But now that I'm looking again at it, this could turn out to be another bull flag. Yeah, so this starts to look more like a bullish pennant or another bull flag, something like this here. So now, if you're looking for an entry into Bitcoin here on the shorter time frames, then this might actually give you one here with a target of $68,500. I believe we're going to hit this target really fast. If you miss now out on these, how to say that, moderate entries, you most likely get left behind. For entering this specific trade here, I would actually wait for a move above $66,500, $66,500, $600-ish, because here's another resistance level. You want to make sure that we are above that here, kinda. And then this level should act now as resistance, if it doesn't even better. So, but it should act as short-term resistance when we get up there, and that's where you're gonna take your first profit. And here now really important, I would not close the whole position. Take 25% profit, pay yourself a little bit, and move your stop loss to your entry so that you have at least 25% already secured and cannot lose anymore, and let this run. Because I believe Bitcoin could run here to $80,000 or close to it just before the halving. So we are just 4 days away from the halving. I believe into the halving we could rally here another 10-20% potentially. When we're going here to the 1 hourly chart, something that I'm observing here right now is that we are finally flipping here the EMA ribbon back to the upside. Also here on the stochastic RSI, I see the first signs of a turnaround. And we had earlier also a bullish divergence here on the chart. So if you look here and then you look here, I cannot draw this in here unless I... So there was a small, actually here, better there. So there was a bullish divergence in the chart, which led to this bigger bounce that we saw in Bitcoin. So now on the hourly chart, $67,000 is the level to break. The Monday high was close to it already at 66,900. Here, I just want to see that we hold the EMA ribbon on the 1 hourly chart so that we can flip it into an uptrend again and continue. Just something that I also want to mention here, historically, we always got a major drop just before the halving. I also warned you about this. Remember, I told you just before the halving or just right after the halving, we should expect potentially a drop. I was just not sure if we actually get it because of the massive ETF inflows, because they could have just messed around with everything, you know, what they basically already did with making a new all-time high before the actual halving. So, but I told you, you need to be careful the closer we get to the halving here. And now we saw why. You know, nobody was expecting the war is actually, or almost the war was breaking out, you know, with Iran and Israel, which led to this massive sell-off, which is, in my opinion, was stupid, you know. So really, what has the Middle East in that sense, Iran and Israel, what do they have to do with Bitcoin? You know, so it did not really make sense to me, but this basically triggered this sell-off. But I think it's just about macroeconomics instability that people were fearing, something like that, which led to this massive sell-off. But it's fine, you know, so we got a nice buying opportunity here back to $60,000. I was buying Bitcoin down here in this area again, around $62,000 to $63,000. And yeah, as you can see, we are here over 5% already up on that, on my spot back that I added. So overall, I'm way more up, of course, but just on this, yeah, add to my long-term back. Here on the 4-hourly chart, we see here some of the levels that I'm watching that I think are going to be broken really quickly over the next couple of days. And that is here, this resistance area that we were struggling for such a long time to break, to get a new all-time high. Because here's the prior all-time high right now. And afterwards, we struggled to stay above that key resistance level. We got this deviation here, which trapped everybody. And then we went to the downside to this key support level of $62,800. Here's something else some of you might remember from the last bull run. When we get a pennant like this, and we're coming out of an uptrend, and everybody is expecting a break to the upside, we have seen before that we are breaking to the downside, getting a massive fake out to liquidate everybody and to shake everybody out. And then within 48 hours, we are coming back and then break to the upside. This is a so old playbook from the prior bull markets that I believe this time this will be no different, and that we can expect a move like that. So you can go back, you know, in time in the recent bull market and look how many times we got a falling wedge or a pennant that should have broken to the upside, or a rising wedge, you know, also rising wedge. Rising wedges should break to the downside, you know, and they broke to the upside in the last bull run. So here, this is for me nothing else than a massive fake out. Once we are coming back here to this upward sloping trend line, we are breaking above that and will go higher from there. When we're going to liquidation levels, so here you see there was a lot cleaned up here on the way down, but good for us, high concentration of short positions up here right now, and also highly over leveraged. The same what we saw here on the long side before, where I was kind of like twitchy, you know, so I don't know, you know, they could get liquidated on the way down. Now we have the same thing to the upside. So I'm not saying that it's impossible that we're getting one more turnaround before we go up here, but I believe like under 64, highly unlikely before the halving that we are seeing something like this here again. 64 would be another 4% drop, 3 to 4%. I don't believe that Bitcoin is going to do that. We could go a little bit sideways here and then see the next leg to the upside, just that the stochastic RSI comes a little bit lower. But the daily, the higher time frames like the 12 hourly and the daily, painting a clear picture that Bitcoin is ready with momentum to go back to the upside here. The only major resistance is around $68,000 right now. Here, once we are breaking above that, it's almost 70, the next one, and then we are getting here to this level that I just spoke, the major resistance, before we get into new all-time high. When we're looking at the liquidation heat map, let's see how much we cleaned up here. Also here, clear concentration of liquidation levels, short liquidations at $71,700. Beneath us, almost nothing to grab liquidity. So we have to go up. So market makers have to push the market up to actually make money here again. Hence why I believe that just before the halving, we could see here a really quick rip to the upside. For one reason, liquidity concentration is up there. The other one, the indicators are pointing to that direction. And the other reason is nobody is expecting that right now. Most of the time, when everybody is expecting a certain outcome, that's exactly what's not happening in the crypto market. And this is exactly an outcome that nobody is expecting, so highly likely that it could actually play out. So for altcoins, before I get into them, I just want to let you know, I do today something a little bit different. I actually want to open a long position with you guys together on one of the coins that I'm going to show you. And I'm going to do it on Phemex, and I do it with a small amount. I have here on this account, I have $1,900, so it's not a lot. I want to trade this to $10,000 and then to $50,000 over the next 3 months with you guys. We take really small positions to make sure that we are not getting liquidated, but we are doing it all live here on this channel together. So if you were kind of unsure, so how you should make it in the bull run, so there's still time left. We have 18 months, guys. 18 months to not fuck this up. Really important. Don't fuck this up. We have 18 months to make life-changing money, and then it's over. So let me help you. Go to Phemex, go to the link in the description if you don't have an account there, sign up there. You can also go to BYBIT. On both platforms, you still get a deposit bonus a combined of over $50,000 on both platforms, or go to FAIRDESK. There you can just copy trade me and don't need to do anything else by just copy trading me. And otherwise, you can also go to Margex. I just want to show you one trade that I made today on Margex in the last 24 hours. So I had one trade here on Solana. Wait, I have to come to the camera and focus the camera that you can actually see it. There you go. You see over 1,000%. So I made 10x on my position that I had on Margex. Also really nice. You should also go and definitely check Margex out if you haven't yet. Don't forget that all these links are in the description and a pinned comment under this video. Now let's talk about altcoins where we're actually going to make money. The dominance had a massive breakout when this drop happened. And remember, I told you that I was expecting if Bitcoin goes to the upside that we get something like this. I did not think about a scenario where Bitcoin would drop that low and the dominance would rise for that reason. So, but you see, we did not tap 57.15. That was like the highest that I was expecting because it was the prior all-time high, but we got really close to it. Now we are dropping, hence why a lot of altcoins are running. And what I expect now to be happening is that if Bitcoin will make that run to the upside, then the 55.12 level will act as support. And we're going to make a run from there to 57. If Bitcoin decides to run to 80K over the next couple of days. If Bitcoin is not making a run to over $70,000 and potentially $80,000 in the next couple of days, this level will most likely not hold. And we are either going sideways here and still some altcoins are going to run, or we actually break it really fast and will come back down under 54%. Now a lot depends on Bitcoin on that, but also on the USDT dominance. As long as the USDT dominance is falling, expect altcoins to go up. So I'm also watching this really closely. Remember, I told you guys, if we get a break out of that triangle, out of this pennant to the upside, altcoins going to bleed or dump here in that case massively. If we break to the downside, we get a nice run in altcoins. So now we tested the 4.75% level, got again rejected from there. Good for us that we got rejected from there. And now we are moving back to 4.48% to retest that level. So here I also expect that this level is not giving any support, that we break it, and potentially only around here, the downward sloping trend line, we will see some support coming in for the USDT dominance, where then also we either go sideways or get a small bounce and then roll over and go lower. Because overall, historically, the altcoins start massively running after the Bitcoin halving. And here's something that I've completely forgot. I had put it somewhere in the back of my mind and completely forgot about it. There is also an altcoin halving. The altcoin halving happens just before the Bitcoin halving and is halving the prices of all the altcoins. I really totally forgot about that. Otherwise, I would have mentioned it to you guys. But personally, I have completely forgot about it. And I only remembered when I actually saw somebody on Twitter posting about it. And I was like, yes, I know that. And I just didn't remember about it. Otherwise, personally, I would have not lost so much money, and the same for you, and I would have had more money on the sideline to deploy after this drop. So, but it's fine, you know, so we live and learn out of these things and move on. When it comes to Ethereum, Ethereum has made a nice V-shaped recovery here. We went all the way down to $2,794 approximately. So even under $3,000. Also something that I was absolutely not accounting for, that we get this low. But now we are in former support area. As long as we are not getting rejected from here, I expect that Ethereum will move to $3,300 and then also higher from here, especially the sooner we are getting over with the halving. And another contribution for that today came out that in Hong Kong, an Ethereum ETF was actually approved. So it's not the US, it's Hong Kong. But if some jurisdictions starting and countries start to approve Ethereum ETFs, at some point the US has to do the same, because economically, Wall Street cannot afford to be excluded from that. So at some point they have to come on board to basically not miss out on all these profits, because their clients, they would just go somewhere else where they will have access to an Ethereum spot ETF. So, and right now it's in Hong Kong. So, and that led here to also a nice pump here to the upside in Ethereum today. Here still the point of control is $3,500. As long as we are remaining beneath that, we don't need to dream about an all-time high for Ethereum, but we can take advantage of some of these levels here. So let's say Ethereum makes another round trip to the downside. Then here, this is the area where you want to buy between $3,100, $3,150, more or less. And if we don't get that round trip, then the next level is 3,262. So, but here comes now something that I want to show you guys here with Ethereum on the daily chart. You see around $3,400 is right now the EMA ribbon, the top of the EMA ribbon. The Ethereum price over the next, let's say, 48 hours has to come above that level to keep the uptrend of the EMA ribbon. If this is not happening, then prepare for $3,100 to get a chance to enter at that level. And if we claim here above the EMA ribbon, so now just that you understand why this is not a super low risk trade here on the 4-hourly chart. If you get in here at $3,265, you have to watch what's happening on the daily. You know, so if we are getting above $3,400 and stay there, I would personally have my stop loss just under the EMA ribbon. When we're getting to 3,400, I would have it at $3,300. So you would most likely get out with, I don't know, a really small profit, close to break even, just if this trade turns against you. One of the coins that I'm personally looking at and also trading actively right now is Solana. Here, really nice structure. we had here a higher low. This is also still a higher low on the macro structure, you know, so this is really nice when you look at this here. So here also higher low. If I go a little bit lower, then you can make the case here also higher low. So we have a really nice upward structure still intact for Solana. Nothing has changed here. And I was actually starting to build my position yesterday at around $128. That's where I massively scaled back into Solana. And I have still 2 Solana trades actually running after I took profit on the initial one that I just shown you today. So, and here, if you want to enter Solana, there's also 2 ways to do that. And I'm going to tell you honestly, on most of all altcoins, you have to wait a little bit, in my opinion, unless we are breaking key resistance levels, because on the 4-hourly chart, they're all overheated right now on the stochastic RSI. That does not mean that they cannot run, but that is something that I pay attention to, even though the higher time frames tell me we will go much higher over the next couple of days. And here from the 1-hourly and the shorter time frames, I see also a lot of momentum pushing to the upside right now. So in that case, you can neglect a little bit the 4-hourly chart on the stochastic RSI, but don't have not an eye on it. I always have an eye on it when something like this is popping out, you know. So here on Solana, the level that I would be looking at is either $145 if we get a retest and get rejected from 156, or above 156 with a 30 minutes candle close. And then you trade this to $170 approximately. So that is roughly a 10% move on Solana. If you want to build a long-term position, even better, then just keep it to $200. Another coin that is surprising me a lot is actually PENDLE. PENDLE is such a strong coin. I wish I would have traded this when I saw it this morning at like, I don't know, I saw that at $6.60, $6.50, something like this. And I fumbled it. That would have been a nice trade actually today, but it's fine, you know. So here, I think we are close to an all-time high, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So here, once we are breaking $7.56, we are moving to an all-time high, but you don't have to wait so long. So if we can close here, $6.98, let it be $6.98. A 30 minutes candle, that's where you want to enter. Or if we come back to $6.53. So these are the 2 levels where you want to enter, and I would trade this to $9. That's the target for me. So now if we take it from the higher end here, so this alone is a 30% move. If you put their 5x leverage on it, it's 150% potentially in a matter of days. Here, another one really strong today is Fetch AI. I actually did not follow up on the merger, what happened there. I want to read up on this, what they actually did, and also what's happening in the future to the coins. Here also really simple how you can trade this. So you see here I'm on a daily chart. On a daily chart, everything screams, send me higher. So most likely to $2.85, no, $2.81 approximately. If you want to play it really safe, you wait until this downward sloping trend line is broken. Otherwise, we are at the resistance level right now that was prior acting as support. So now we will find out if that will actually act now as resistance at $2.38. If we close a 1-hourly candle and a 30 minutes candle and a 1-hourly candle above that level, you can technically enter this, but be aware that this is also not low risk at that point, you know. So low risk, this becomes low risk when we break this downward sloping trend line. So that would be broken at $2.56 and will then give you like, what is that, 6% move? A 10% move still. Yeah, not that bad, still a 10% move. But honestly, once we are getting here to $2.80s, I think that with the momentum that's right now here coming into the market, that we could smash through that and also break here into a new all-time high. So, but again, these prior resistance levels on all coins right now is something to be on the lookout for. and to observe how coins are reacting when we are getting there. But of course, first, let's see what's happening here with this resistance level that we are at. If we are just, breaking through this like nothing, or if we get rejected from there and get a lower entry. So here the lower entry for me would be $2.18, and otherwise, so just if we get completely rejected from here, so then I would look at $2.18. If not, here above that level, and again, if you want to play it safe, kind of like here is your entry. The next one is ETHEREUM. ETHEREUM also super strong here on the daily chart, and did not run back as much as a lot of the other coins yet, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, it did. 48% in 3 days is a lot, so it actually did run back a lot, just doesn't look like it. Here, I would enter at $1.15-ish. If we are getting here also rejected from this prior support area that's now acting as resistance, if we close a 30 minutes candle above that box, I would enter this. And also here this downward sloping trend line is, if you want to have a low risk trade, the level to watch. But this is basically here around the next resistance area of $1.40, and you would miss out on a 20% move already to the upside. So here I'm also willing to take the risk to trade this to the upside, and that's I'm still a little bit undecisive which coin I'm going to pick, but ETHEREUM is really right up on top on my list of coins where I want to open here trade while I'm recording this video here. So then another coin that I'm looking at is AR, and so there is also an AI coin. Overall, AI coins really running well here. Everything back to the upside, and also really strong. Here, the level to look out for is $29.07 to the upside as a resistance. My take profit point would be, actually, let me make this a zone. I'm sorry, guys, I have to run through this here a little bit quickly because I have to be here on some calls again. So here, my resistance area, $35 to $36-ish, where I would again start looking how price is reacting when we get up there. Most likely something like this, and then so here, there. So this is most likely what's going to happen here over the next couple of days for AR, where we go close to $50. So expect around $50, some resistance, pull us a little bit down. That's most likely the plan that we are following. But I don't want to rule out that we could also get a drawdown like this. So that's why watch the resistance level that we are testing right now. Also here, in case if we get rejected, here is the level that I'm looking at to enter a position, just in case that we get rejected from here at $25 to $26.70. That's where I would be looking at if we're not breaking $29, and then trade this to the upside. Another one that I'm looking at is SNX. So here we also see a small retracement right now, because again, everything is at a former support level that is giving us resistance right now. But here, I could imagine that we're going to see a move to the upside by tomorrow for one simple reason. I'm going to show it to you. Here is an imbalance that needs to be filled. And the imbalance is at $3.70, only completely closed. Now in crypto, in Forex, these imbalances, they work to the dollar. You can do whatever you want. They're working to the dollar. In crypto, normally we overshoot them, which is good for us in that sense. Because once we're getting to this imbalance level of $3.70, we potentially see an overshoot to like almost $4. Hence why I'm interested in trading this. The only thing that I'm waiting for is here on the 15 minutes. I'm going to show it to you. That we stay above $3.21. If I get in the next hour a move above $3.21 and the 50 minutes kind of closes above there, I'm going to enter this and trade this in direction of $4. If not, then I simply wait, because worst case scenario, we come down to this support area here again. So, and when it comes again to targets, so here, this is my first level, and then here, the higher one, that's what I'm looking at to take profit. So again, if this level breaks here at $3.21, I enter. and I'm gonna trade this in direction of $4. Again, here, look on the lookout how price is reacting, and then trade this potentially higher. So now I said I wait until $3.21 until I trade here SNX. So I cannot trade SNX right now. The last one is Phantom. Phantom has not completely bottomed out yet, based on the indicators, which is not a bad sign, you know, so because it gives you ample time to actually enter this. So here for FDM, a nice advice, start building a position now, add a little bit, 10% of the position that you want to build. And once we are breaking, so and the more we go in the direction of the Monday high, the more you're going to add. So let's say you add now a little bit around 70 cents, then again at, let it be 73 cents, and then the Monday high is around 75 cents. Once we break the Monday high and we have a 4-hourly candle close above that, you can enter with the rest of your money. You know, so here 10%, I would put here 15%, and here another 25%. And then when we get a 4-hourly candle above the Monday high, that's where you put in the other 50% that you want to have in that Phantom trade. Because I want to remind you, Phantom also always really, really strong here in bull runs, and also really, really quick in movements to the upside in a matter of days. So this could run back really, really quickly to over $1 in, let's say, the next 4 or 5 days. So I would not neglect that. And a move back to $1 from here is also a 42% move. So again, 10x leverage or something like that, you know, it's 420%. Now, would I trade here with 10x leverage? Most likely not. I would use 5, you know, which still gives you 200% to the upside. And now let's have a quick look where I would actually put some money in. Really, really interested in Fetch here. Really, really interested in Fetch, and also in SNX. But SNX also on the hourly, I don't like it. On the 15 minutes, yeah, 15 minutes I start liking it. But here I need to wait another 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do here, guys, also here on the 15 minutes I don't like it. Hourly also not really beautiful. So what I'm going to do here, I will enter a fetch position, but I'm gonna have a stop at $2.26 just to make sure. So and I'm gonna have my eye also on fetch. So I'm gonna enter here 10%. Can I do this? That's why. So market 10% here. Take profit. Let it be $3. Yeah, that's a good move. Confirm. So here, my liquidation, so there is no liquidation price because I'm just using 10% of the money. So, and the other one, for Arbitrum, I still gonna wait a little bit, and also SNX, but SNX is definitely the other one that I have my eye on right now. Guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, we have the halving coming up. There could be some volatility around that, so be careful trading and don't get washed out here. Make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'm gonna open our trade on SNX. I'm gonna see you tomorrow.